Heading via Zoom to the Yarra Valley to catch up with the director of the Healesville Hotel and Cellars. His name is Michael Kennedy. Michael, welcome to The Informer.
Hi George, thanks for having me.
Can you give us a glimpse, for those of us who don't live in the Yarra Valley, who haven't had to endure what Victoria's had to endure over the last half a dozen months, what it's been like, especially for you? This has been one of the best hotels. It's a many-hatted hotel over the years. It has a fantastic position in the heart of the Yarra Valley, and it draws so many visitors, not only from across Australia, but across the world. What's it been like the last 6 months? Just give us a glimpse.
Tough.
Really
It's
tough?
been really tough.
Have you closed down? Have you had to close down or draw the shutters?
We've had the hotel itself closed. We have what's in the old bottle shop. We operate that as a sort of a little takeaway coffee and some retail wine in there. And we've been focusing on making sure we keep that open to at least just give our team something to do, somewhere where they can go and get a coffee and still feel that, we're connected. But I mean, seriously, some days you take $100, so really it's not a financial thing. It's still a burden and a drain to do it, but at least it gave everybody an opportunity to still check in at the hotel and enabled us to keep an eye on staff and make sure they were doing okay.
You mentioned staff. You'd have some award-winning chefs. How have you managed to hold on to them?
Well, staff-wise, we've struggled. People have moved on. People have moved out. People have the ones that are on JobKeeper, we're starting to lose a few of those now too, as well as the JobKeeper the amount starts to pull back. So that's been tricky. It's going to take us a couple of months to build the team back up again. But yeah, it's going to be a slow burn.
You have a fabulous dining room and have had for a number of years. What's it going to take to get that up and running? And more importantly, where do most of your great customers come from? We talking Victorians, or are we talking from outside the borders?
Look, I've always said the hotel has been sort of half locals and half Melbourne, if you like, or greater. I think I've learnt in the last 6 months that actually it's not half locals. It's actually, there's just not that many locals around. Although having said that, I suppose they've been in lockdown too, and haven't been going out. And a lot of people have been very cautious about going out. But yeah, Yarra Valley definitely relies on Melbourne and beyond.
So bookings to you would mean money in the bank. When are you likely to open bookings?
We're sitting down today working out what we can achieve for next week. But it's going to be a step at a time because of all the extra things that we've got to do in order to open up the dining room. Just all the the COVID safe policies and all the rest of it, and helping people through those processes. So look, I'm hoping that we'll open some bookings for not this weekend, but the following weekend. I'm hoping we'll be able to do that later today.
Are you going to be using Q-reader technology, or will it be again writing and pen and paper?
We're using the Q-reader technology. Most people are fine with it. You need to have a backup because not everyone still has a mobile phone. And I just overheard someone just before saying they actually refused to use it because they didn't want their data being breached. So that's the first time I've heard it, to be honest. Yeah. But we'll use the Q-reader. It's actually really easy once you get your head around it. It's actually really easy to use. So we'll definitely use that.
Now tell me something, during this time, this real hardship when you've had hardly any customers coming through the door, how have you managed to keep up with all those fixed business costs that we all know each and every business has to cope with. I'm talking about electricity, whether you're open or closed, the insurances, the licensing fees, and everything else that's gone with it, payroll and so on.
Look, I'll be honest. The government has, has given us some benefits and grants and so forth, and made those easy enough to access. I've been lucky with my landlord. I know of a lot of other people that haven't been so lucky with their landlord. But yeah, your insurance rolls on, your payroll, your superannuation rolls on, your electricity. Cost me $600 a month for my photocopier. At lease cost, and it's like and it's things like the point of sale. The backup to have the point of sale operational and all the rest of it. Yeah, those costs still roll on, definitely. But you're kind of in a point where you can't just stop. You can't give up. You have to dig deep, and you have to, we have to reopen. Otherwise, it's worth nothing.
Absolutely. Look, the Healesville Hotel and Cellars have made a name for a number of years. It's a terrific institution. We don't want to lose you. We wish you a tremendous number of bookings. We're talking to Michael Kennedy, who's just given us a glimpse of how tough it's been behind the scenes. We hope that the doors are open. We hope that the Yarra Valley bursts into life again. The weather's starting to turn. We just saw the most amazing Melbourne Cup with no people, but there is no way that the Healesville Hotel and its dining room and its famous cellars can function without people. So we hope that everyone starts to come to you in numbers that you can manage, and more importantly that everyone understands that it's a COVID world now. We can't live without it. We've got to live with it. So thank you very much for joining us and giving us an idea of just how tough it's been. Michael Kennedy from the Healesville Hotel and Cellars.